Okay, I don't know what's going on, but every single time I set up my camera, I'm fairly sure I've put it exactly in focus, which I've done a million and one times, and yet the minute I go to edit, I'm slightly fuzzy. So I'm not refilming this, so apologies for the slightly fuzzy video quality. I was checking it as well after because I filmed 3 videos in a row, and so there's going to be a variety of different focuses I think here. I can only apologise. Yeah, don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm hopefully going to fix this soon. Hi everybody, hope you're all doing really well, and welcome to the book acquiring tag. So I haven't been tagged to do this by anybody. I did see Tony over at An Erudite Adventure do this tag, so I kind of gave him the idea to do it. It's been a while since I've done a book tag, and you know, I really enjoy doing them, so I thought I would do this one, which is all about the kind of your book buying habits really. So question one is, do you plan your book purchases ahead or do you impulse buy? And I kind of do a bit of both. If I'm ordering something online, then I will absolutely be planning what I'm wanting to buy because, you know, you can just order anything really. But with them in person, you know, it's very much like mood reading or just kind of what I think looks interesting because of the way it looks on the shelf, or sometimes I'll go into bookshops and I'll have like an idea of what I want to get, but they probably, you know, 9 times out of 10 they don't have what I'm looking for, so but I never usually leave empty-handed. I'll either see another book that I've been interested to pick up at some point, or like I said, something that's got a really interesting cover that just grabs my attention that I decide to buy there and then. So yeah, a mix of both, but yeah, if I'm in person it's absolutely just whatever I fancy seeing, but if it's online then I will tend to like plan what I'm going to buy. Number 2 is, how do you decide what books to buy? Mine is mostly like gut feeling, I think. You know, it depends if I really want to get through a series or not. You know, if I've decided that I really want to get through this one series, if I see the sequels in the shop or something, then I'll go out my way to buy them. Or, you know, if I've read the first book and I'm completely obsessed, then maybe I'll go online and I'll maybe order the next couple in the series. You know, it really depends just how much I'm enjoying a series. I do sometimes do book. I've got 2 book clubs. I do have 2 book clubs that I'm in, and I do some buddy reads, so as well, you know, if I'm needing to acquire a copy of that book for the month or something, I will tend to try and go and see if I can find that either online, on my Kindle, or in person in a shop. But yeah, but genuinely it's just what I'm in a mood for. You know, if I see it and I know for sure I'll get to it at some point, I will sometimes just pick it up and be like, okay, I'll have it on my shelf for me to get to kind of whenever. So, you know, depends really on the book and what I'm planning to buy it for, whether it's just to have or plan to read it soon, or I'm buying it specifically for like a buddy read or something. Number 3, what is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital or audio, new versus used. So, you know, I kind of tend to shop in person as much as I can because I know I do really just enjoy the feeling of going to a bookshop to buy a book kind of thing. My local Watsons as well, the staff there are really lovely, so you get to chat to them sometimes about what you've been buying. I don't really know what it means by large versus small. Does it mean like, do you buy lots of books or a small amount of books? You know, I don't really know what that means, so I'm not really going to answer that. I tend to go for physical books rather than ebooks, although I am sort of, you know, I'll go for ebooks for if it's a book I'm not too fussed about, like if it's one of my book club reads that I'm like, not too keen on this one, you know, but I'll read it anyway. I'll tend to buy it on ebook, or again, if I'm struggling to buy it in person and I haven't got time to order online for a physical copy, I will just go for an ebook. But I tend to just go for physical books because I like having them on my shelves and I like having something tactile. And I will buy a mix of new and used. There's a really good second-hand bookshop in my city and stuff, so I'll tend to go there as well, and I'll pick up books every now and again. And if I'm ordering things online as well, I do tend to go through Libris books a lot of the time, and a lot of those are second-hand or old library copies and stuff, and it helps just keep the price down and stuff because obviously I am working on a budget. Number 4, what about little free libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? I think they're a really great idea. I think it's a really nice idea if you've got some old books, you know, you can go and replace those old books that you don't read anymore with a book that you'll maybe be interested in reading and stuff, and then obviously they're then available for free for somebody else to pick up. I just think they're a really good idea. I've never used one, partly just because there aren't any near me. There's just nothing, you know, there's just nothing in the city where I live, or where I grew up. You know, the closest one we have is Perth in Edinburgh, I think, has some little free libraries. But yeah, it would be interesting to use one day, but to be honest as well, I'm so attached to so many of my books, I would be like, ooh, you know, it would feel like picking a least favourite child or something to decide which ones to leave in the little free library, so yeah, but I think they're a really good idea. Number 5, how do you feel after acquiring a book? You know, do you share, do you do book hauls, you know, etc. If I'll only really share if it's like a really big book haul, you know, if I've got a gift card or money for my birthday or something, and I've gone out and I've bought a whole ton of books in one go, then I'll tend to film like a book haul or something. Other than that, I'll maybe come send some photos to Discords that I'm in, or one of my friends, I'll quite often send her what I've bought, you know, especially if it's got a really pretty cover or something I think she'd be interested in reading, I'll quite often send it to my friend Dana. So, but other than that, you know, I kind of just, you know, pop up my shelf and leave it for later. Number 6, how do you feel looking at your books that haven't been read? Does it matter if it's currently a lot or little amount? I mean, when I see all the books on my shelf that I haven't read yet, I'm just excited to get to them, you know. I don't really have an overwhelming number of unread books on my shelves, you know. I have, you know, and I aim to have everything that's on my shelf at the moment kind of read by the end of the year. So, you know, it's a manageable amount that I've got. So yeah, all I really feel is just excitement and anticipation to get to all these books and see what they're all about. Number 7, how do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? I don't really. I guess if there are, you know, if there are more unread books on my shelves than there are read books, then I would admit I have a problem. But you know, as it happens, you know, there's only like a few books on my shelves that are unread and stuff. You know, the grand majority I have read them, some of them even multiple times. So yeah, I would say if there's more unread books than read, then yes, you've got a bit of a problem. And number 8, do you have a TBR game or process for reading books? Nope, I am absolutely a mood reader, and the only time I ever really decide on which book specifically I'm reading is I'll read books for them, like I said, for my book club or buddy reads. And I'll also like prioritise any arcs that I've got that you know, are perhaps about to get shelved on NetGalley or something. I'll try and have those out before the release date kind of thing, especially if I want to get reviews out and things. So that's the only ones where I tend to like decide on what I'm going to read. The only other thing I do sometimes is I'll maybe pick like a month where I'll be like, okay, this month I want to focus on just trying to read sequels of books that I've already started, or this month I'm going to try and read just self-published authors or something, you know, but I'll still mood read within that kind of thing. So that's the only time I ever really restrict myself in what I tend to read. You know, back in May when I was doing the Asian readathon, I made it a goal to read books only by Asian authors featuring Asian characters, and I've just picked off the ones on my shelves that I had already kind of thing. So yeah, you know, I don't really pick my TBR for each month or anything like that. It is very much mood reading. Number 9, do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it and can it be adjusted? I don't think I have a book buying problem. You know, I'm a student, so I am on one hell of a budget sort of thing, so I do have to really rein in how many books I buy, and I am just the kind of person that, you know, like I said, if I ended up with more books on my shelves that I haven't read than I have read, I really would think I had a problem. So I do try to keep on top of things and just read the books as I go. And then once I start to maybe, you know, run out of books that are on my shelves, then I'll maybe go out and buy a few more books. But, you know, when I am going out and buying books, it's maybe like 1 or 2 at a time. I'm not really in the habit of buying like 10 at a time. So, you know, it doesn't accumulate quite as fast. And there's an easy way to do that. I just have to keep myself out of Waterstones. The minute I go into the shop, it's like I'm uncontrolled and I can't leave without buying at least something. So yeah, as long as I don't go into Waterstones, I'm usually fine. Number 10 is tag 2 or 3 others to ponder their book buying process. So I have actually picked a few people to tag in this because it's been a while since I've done a book tag, so I kind of wanted to tag some people. So I don't think any of them have done this yet, but I will maybe double check. So first of all, I'm going to tag Reading with Lawrence, who has a really fantastic channel. I have Dom from Dominish Books, and lastly I'm going to tag Owen Edwards, who also has a fantastic channel. All 3 of them have really, really great channels. Definitely go check them out. I'll leave them linked below. But yeah, I hope to see these guys do their this book tag if they're interested in doing it, and if not, that's okay. And finally, number 11 is just that know that you are awesome just as you are. Being a book lover is amazing, and regardless of your reading habits, your book buying habits, or anything like that. So yeah, that was the book acquiring tag. I really, really enjoyed doing this. Well, it was kind of interesting as well, just to reflect on my actual book buying habits. And actually, yeah, I don't think I have a book buying problem, which is quite useful to know. So yeah, if you want to answer any of these questions, let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what your responses are to these prompts. If you've reached the end of this video, feel free to leave a like and feel free to subscribe. I post 2 videos a week. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.